Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is February 26, 2015, yet another Tarleton State Purple Thursday. This is Texan TV News from Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas, and I'm Megan Andrews.
And I'm Sean Hargrove. In campus news, the parking committee consisting of faculty, staff, and students held an open meeting to the student body to discuss the plan for improving parking on campus. This meeting was used to inform the students of what plans the committee had been working on, to answer any questions, and to gain input. Tarleton Police Chief Matt Welch began the meeting by explaining the two major focuses on faculty parking. First, all faculty lots will be gated and will be operated by a proxy card system, making entering quick and painless. These gates will also be designed with cameras for people to communicate with gate workers as if they need assistance or temporary access. The gates will open at 5 p.m. for student access, but will not allow cars in past midnight. Second, the parking committee would oversell parking spaces at 105% instead of 100%. Even though 100% of the spots are being bought and used, only 70% of the lot is being filled at a time. Also, the committee is figuring out if they want to have 20% of those faculty spots available to be reserved, but this is still being looked at.
Welch's second focus was to separate the rec zone from the purple zones, the red zone, not allowing one to park in the other. They would overall the red zone 240%, but at the same time they are increasing the amount of red zones. This will be allowing commuters to have more space. Starting the next week, 340 new parking spots will be added at the north end of the visitors parking at the football field, along with the additional parking on campus. Parking at the baseball fields and horticultural center will be considered overflow and available for anyone even without a permit. Welch also said loading additional zones are being scattered through campus, making it easy to drop off and unload. Chief Welch is also working on getting on crosswalks and sidewalks put in areas of major crossing, including a crosswalk from Washington to Lillian. Students at the meeting complained that it was hard to differentiate all the golf carts from the shuttles and the non-carts. Students said hope for a more scheduled and reliable routine for the shuttle carts so that they would be easier to catch. After spring break, the mobile app ride system will work as a GPS tracking what shuttles are where. Welch said the committee wants to let students know that the issues are being discussed, and he is welcome to students' ideas. In regional news, in a press release given out Wednesday, an Erath County jury took just over 2 hours Tuesday night to find Eddie Ray Routh guilty of capital murder of Chris Kyle and Chad Littlefield. Routh, a 27-year-old resident of Lancaster, killed the two men on February 2, 2013 for a reason unknown. The jury rejected the defendant's claim that he was legally insane at the time of the offense and therefore not criminally responsible for the crime. Judge Jason Cashon sentenced the defendant immediately to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The biggest fallacy of this trial is that Eddie Ray Routh committed this brutal crime because of PTSD. Many members of the armed services who have honorably served throughout our country have every right to receive services for PTSD. But to claim that PTSD causes a person to commit murder is a disservice to both veterans and those who suffer from mental illness, said Erath County District Attorney Alan Nash.
This trial was a team effort of multiple law enforcement agencies, including Texas Rangers Divisions, Erath County Sheriff's Office, Stephenville Police Department, Somerville Sheriff's Office, the Department of Public Safety, Lancaster Police Department, Midlothian Police Department, and NCIS. So many investigators and officers put in countless hours on this case and were dedicated to this successful prosecution. The public is safer because of good law enforcement work, Nash added. The District Attorney's Office would also like to wish Sheriff Bryant and his office, Chief King, and the Stephenville Police Department, District Clerk Wanda Pringle and her staff, and all the county officials and law enforcement agents from around the region who assisted in making the secure, orderly, and fair trial for both the state and the defendant. And now, with Texas, national, international, and sports news from the Associated Press.
In Texas news, in Austin, it's all about the bass. The Texas Parks and Wildlife Department on Wednesday asked for the public's help in choosing a new license plate honoring bass fishing. The resigned bass conservation license plate will be available this summer. Proceeds will benefit the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department fisheries programs. One version includes the view of a largemouth bass. The second option has a side view of the fish. Agency officials also asked voters to fill out a survey on whether they currently have a commemorative bass license plate on a vehicle, trailer, or motorcycle.
In national news, police say that 4 Wesleyan University students, known as campus drug dealers, have been arrested this week. The 4 were charged in connection with the distribution of the bad batch of the party drug known as Molly. Authorities say 11 people, including 10 Wesleyan students, went to hospitals last weekend in search of medical attention. Eric Lonergan, 22, of Brazil, and 20-year-old Rama Aga al-Nakib, a Syrian national, were released Wednesday after posting a $50,000 bond. Zachary Kramer, 21, of Bethesda, Maryland, was a freed prisoner after posting a $5,000 bond. Andrew Olson of California posted bail Tuesday and is in court March 3rd.
All 4 students involved have been suspended from Wesleyan University. Longren's room was essentially a drugstore, Prosecutor Gene Calistro Jr. said. Police said that they have so far identified the at least 16 different drugs found there. Al-Nakib and Longren will typically sell Molly from their residence between 5 and 9 p.m., according to arrest affidavits released Wednesday. Police said Longren distributed pamphlets on campus advising students on how to properly trip. Authorities from various agencies are working to identify the chemicals in the batch of Molly that caused the illness, Middletown Police Chief William McKenna said.
In international news, the residents of one Dutch town are cowering under umbrellas after an aggressive eagle owl started swooping out of the sky, sinking its talons into them and gouging their flesh. The so-called terror owl has become a media sensation after attacking people in recent weeks and around Permamon, 12 miles north of Amsterdam. The hardest hit area in town is the Prison-Stitching assisted living complex for people with disabilities. A spokeswoman for the complex said Thursday the owl had attacked up to 20 people there in the recent weeks, sometimes causing injuries that required stitches. One that encountered this eagle owl attack said it was a painful experience. He said that it was like having a laced brick thrown at you with nails. The town is warning residents to steer clear of the bird, which is reported to be 24 to 30 inches tall. It has applied for a permit to catch the owl, which is a protected species. Officials suspect the terror owl was once kept in captivity, as they say such aggressive behavior is not known among wild eagle owls, and the species is not commonly found in that region. In the meantime, the town has advised residents to not approach the bird and to use umbrellas as walking down in the evening if possible, when the owl is most active. Marielle DeMonk said that staff visited Prince and Stitching Complex this week to hand out dozens of umbrellas. In sports, in Anaheim, Los Angeles outfielder Josh Hamilton met Wednesday with Major League Baseball officials about a disciplinary issue. Angels spokesman Tim Meade confirmed in the Los Angeles Times' initial report Wednesday that Hamilton went to New York to meet with baseball officials. The team declined to give any more specific information. Hamilton is not reported to spring training in Arizona after undergoing shoulder surgery earlier this month. He is expected to be out until the regular season begins. The 2010 AL MVP is entering the 3rd season of a 5-year, $125 million contract. Hamilton has been a huge disappointment for the Angels, batting just .255 with 31 homers and 123 RBIs in 2 seasons. Hamilton also has a well-chronicled history of drug, alcohol abuse, leading to previous suspensions. It will be declined to comment on Hamilton.
For today's weather, the snow has begun to come down on this chilly Thursday. There will be a high of 36 degrees and a low of 21 degrees. The temperature will continue to drop for a chilly Friday with a chance of the snow to continue. It may warm up for the weekend. Today's broadcast was produced by Sarah Honeycutt, Ashley Ford, Ariel Hall, and I am Megan Andrews.
And I'm Sean Hargrove. You can watch Texan TV News live Monday through Friday at 11 to 1 and on Northland Cable Channel 9. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and become a fan of Texan TV News on Facebook. Tune in tomorrow for the latest news from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.